Hey y'all, Monk Joseph here with the Broken Buddha. Today we're going to talk about a very fun and informative topic. We're going to talk about Dim-Mak, right? Dim-Mak means to locate and tap or strike and locate. Western terminology tells us that it means death touch. It's pretty much any striking point that uses less than perceivable force to knock somebody down or kill somebody. And a lot of it is just emergency reactions out of the off the organs and endocrine system in the human body. A good example of this is gallbladder 1, about a half of a finger width away from the eye. You'll feel a little thread there. And if you play with it, you might get a little nauseous because when you strike there, you'll release a little bit of toxin out of the gallbladder. And if their body can't handle it, they'll pass out. There's things you can do to increase the effect that can dump all the toxin out of their gallbladder. And then, of course, there's the other most famous ST9, which is signals a blood pressure emergency to lower the blood pressure. So if you strike that, they're going to go down like a piece of faulty construction equipment, and you don't have to hit it really hard. It is the writer of the encyclopedias I'm going to show you. His daughter knocked him out at like 9, so it doesn't take a lot of pressure there, and there's things you can do to increase the effect of that. And when you're a lot of people get confused because there's a lot of different ways to strike with to hit these points. There's of course like the blunt force way of like American boxing. You can clip one of these buttons or clip the front of the temporal plate or go directly into it. There's things you can do that don't require precision. And then getting past that, I like to use leopard because you don't have to be as accurate. And then of course after that you'd go like Phoenix Eye and then finger strike. And then of course there's and that's all impact. I would call impact style Dim-Mak, right? And then of course there's whipping style, where you'll whip the points, use your entire body as a kinetic whip. I personally see this more as like I do try to stay up on mine because I see it as a good opportunistic thing. I don't think in modern street fighting it'd be really difficult to set somebody up for that. But if you're in a position where you happen to already be rooted and somebody throws a strike and you need to see it lined up, you can see the deflection, you can see the whipping strike, like you're going to go for it. And I think it's a great opportunistic way to utilize your Dim-Mak. Um, there's also a style that taps. There's a couple styles they'll teach you to condition your finger tap to turn it into like a mini ball peen hammer so that you're not so much just tapping, you're like boom, you're turning your hand into a small little stone ball peen hammer and just popping them in that point, and it looks soft, but you're really like rocking them with a tiny little rock. And then that's another wow. That's again why it's called Dim-Mak. You're fighting somebody, you see some guy go bap, and then the guy goes down, so you're gonna think he just touched them. And then of course there's the super advanced and esoteric touch style Dim-Mak. There's not a lot talked about with this. I'll tell you my experience. I was doing cheap building 3-point stances for 2 hours a day at a retreat for like a month and a half. And when I was walking back to my tent a couple times, I got scared, didn't jump. My index finger heated up like a freaking furnace. I've talked to a bunch of masters around the world since then, trying to figure out how to get it out, how to manifest it at will, stuff like that. And it's hard to get definitive answers, but I'm on the right path and I'm talking to the right people to get to where I'm trying to be. And you can teach yourself to do that. And guys, even at that most advanced level, keep in mind, I try to keep things in perspective with my kung fu. And somewhere in the world right now, there's all kinds of 16-year-old kids in these legacy Denmark families that mastered all this stuff and can do it at a reflex. If you're doing this, you should be doing it, as a hobbyist. If you need to do it for self-defense, you should be picking like 2 or 3 points as like emergency get out of it points, and focus on them while studying everything else. But there is a top tier of this, and there's just so many people who pass down family styles of kung fu that have their own playbook of Dim-Mak. And that's really where the difference is. Every style of kung fu, every family subsect of those styles has their own playbook of what to do to set people up to knock them out. All right, so that being said, okay, so if you're interested in learning Dim-Mak, I suggest going to 2 things: the Encyclopedias of Dim-Mak, which you can get on Amazon. I'll show you right now. The other is taijiworld.com. I'll put a link in the bottom here. TAIJI world.com. Okay, and that is the family who started disseminating the majority of this, and they're carrying some really cool lineage with Tai Chi, Bagua, and some Wudang. Since Wudang, I don't want to say esoteric, man. Anybody can do this stuff or find it. It's right there. So, but people would say it's esoteric. All right. Yeah, and they got all that going there. So let me just jump right into it. Here is your first Encyclopedia Dim-Mak by Earl Montague. This is a good everything book because you're gonna have like 4 times what you would normally have in another book. So you're gonna have, like, if you had another acupuncture Dim-Mak book, you're gonna have a fraction. This has everything, factual and theory, explaining everything. It's been out since '97. His other books have been out since the early '80s, but this was like his refined work, and this will tell you everything you need to know about Dim-Mak. I think every family should have one of these just for Eastern medical reference. There's a lot of stuff in here that's proven even in Western culture, and you should have one at least to study it a little bit and get into those things, and have it around for emergencies. I've used this in emergencies for stuff around my body. Okay, and then of course you have the extra meridians, points, and more. Um, yeah, this one has, as far as Dim-Mak goes, this has some of the more scary, dangerous stuff, and how to heal it. But this is definitely the more advanced book. Be careful, guys. This stuff's not a joke. You can really like ruin somebody's life, and it's not funny. So yeah, just keep it around for medical reference. Study it as a hobbyist, but just be careful when and if you ever have to use this stuff. Okay, and lastly, from TaijiWorld.com, they have a ton of curriculum, and like you can learn everything you need to know off the free curriculum, the books and videos. I mean, obviously, you should go way past that because it's just amazing. What they're carrying, what they present, all this stuff. Sorry, I got a little too close to the camera. I got a little excited there. But I print these books out. Some of these are some of the free books. I mean, I do buy books and I buy the curriculum because A, I want to be supportive of the community, and B, it's just such good curriculum, man, and you can't get it anywhere else. So, I've printed out these books so that it's easier for me to just reach. My phone's not that great, so I can just reach and look and reference. So, I mean, I've printed, and I print them out on cardstock so I can keep them around. I've got my Principles of Tai Chi there. Got my old Yang style, first third. Actually, this is the whole, I believe this is the whole, no, this is the first third. That's right, yep. And looks like a bug got stuck there when I had him on the side there. Sorry about that. And then, of course, I did the healing in qigong. This is a great, great beginner guide to their qigong and every qigong, really. I mean, there's stuff covered in here that I've only heard talked about in esoteric theory, and it's not that extreme. People are just out of their minds and need things to be more than they are. So there you have it. You can buy the encyclopedias of Dim-Mak on Amazon and get all the knowledge. You can go on to taijiworld.com, get the videos. Oh no, my camera fell. Get the videos and books for free, or get the whole like series. I've done enough kung fu, guys. I'm just gonna enjoy studying off of taijiworld.com, probably the rest of my life. I love the Yang Luchen old frame form because you could spend your whole life studying it and just keep learning about the healing aspects and health aspects of the body, keep learning about self-defense and martial arts, and be part of something that is just genius and beautiful. You really got to get into it to see what it is. If you really ever fully can fathom it. And I didn't understand what Tai Chi was before this, but now that I do, and I always wanted to find that like single sequence teaching style, and I found it with them. So you'll know what that means when you get to the point that I'm at. All right. So join me on this wonderful journey of Kung Fu and Dim-Mak. I personally think that Eli Montague is doing a great job with the WTBA. I mean, a great job, not only in explanation. I mean, his meditations video, like I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because his meditations foundations video, I mean, I almost get like, a little emotional because there were things I needed to hear in that video that really just things in my qigong that were holding me back, things I was letting myself hold me back. That his words just like I needed to hear that, and having it come from Earl's son, was just bam. So yeah, I highly encourage you guys to check this stuff out. Yeah, nah. I mean, I think it's interesting. He's living like this classical kung fu life. He took over the international Dim-Mak teaching organization at 26, and I'm sure that the stories are there. Um, and I very much look forward to meeting the guy if I ever get the opportunity to. But yeah, so there it is. Everything you want to know about Dim-Mak. If you hit up Eli, he is. I think he's like the busiest human I've ever met in my life. So it may be like a couple weeks or close to a month if he's really, 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 really busy. But he will get back to you. And any questions you have that I can answer for you, just leave in the comments section, and I'll put some plugs in there for Tai Chi World and the links for the encyclopedias of Dim-Mak. But yeah, check it out, guys. This is human stuff. This is you want to know why you should be on TaijiWorld.com and studying this. This is understanding the pinnacle of being human. They understood Yang Luchan understood what it meant to maximize being human. And you really got to if you really study this curriculum, you'll get it. Get into the qigong, get your chi up. If you're having a hard time feeling your chi, hit me up on here and I'll help you figure out how to do it. There's instructionals on here on how to do it. And I could even make a new one if I need to make some new curriculum. All right. So there you have it. Join me on the journey. Have fun. Be safe. Don't do anything to anybody you wouldn't want done to yourself. Don't do anything to anybody they ain't got coming. You know, like you just walk away. It's that simple. You don't have to fight them. All right. So there you have it. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this was informative, and peace and blessings.